Kani 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 goose 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 kani 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 goose 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 kani 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 kani.
Okay, so let's go on to our second film for like the back half, kind of ween. This is a mutually unwatched movie by both of us. This was one of my picks. This is a 1983 David Cronenberg's Videodrome. Now, this is a Canadian sci-fi body horror film written and directed by Cronenberg, starring James Woods. Set in Toronto in the early 1980s, it follows the CEO of a small UHF television station who stumbles upon a broadcast signal of snuff films. Layers of deception and mind control, again, lifted directly from Wikipedia here, conspiracy unfold as he attempts to uncover the signal's source, complicated by increasingly intense hallucinations that cause him to lose his grip on reality. This was a pick for me because I've been trying to get like a bit more into Cronenberg. I saw the 85 Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis, The Fly about a year or two ago for the first time, and it's a 5 out of 5. It's a 5-star, just a masterpiece. It's as good as a horror movie can be. The only other kind of Cronenberg that I've watched and finished besides this was Scanners, that has like the very famous kind of head explosion animation.
I didn't realize that was him. They made so many of those too. Ooh.
There's a cool scene of that at the beginning of the movie, at the beginning of Scanners. There's another cool scene at the end. It's a lot of kind of empty nothing in between. Not particularly recommended.
I agree. I tried watching that one, and I thought the beginning was interesting, and then I just got bored.
Right. Videodrome, just finished up earlier today, have a awful lot of notes. We're not doing summary and brief for synopsis and brief for all these, but I put down the absolutely mad lengths one will go to fuck Debbie Harry a third time. I think that this is what the thing is about. But Bud, mutually unwatched by both of us, what did you think about David Cronenberg's Videodrome?
The scene that it opens up with, I felt like you were aware of this scene, and
I was not.
Picked this movie for me on purpose. I had to go back and look in the notes because I'm like, wait, has he seen this one before? There's no way he didn't know this was going to happen.
I did not, and I was grinning like a goddamn maniac the entire time.
All I'm gonna say, and you know, guys, I don't really mean this. I don't really think this, but Oriental sex is unnatural. I pulled that from the film. I don't. That's not me, guys.
The movie basically starts with this just Woods, one of America's great just fucking piece of shit slimeball actors. You're immediately into just what human garbage is this guy?
Yeah.
And he's meeting with a Japanese porn distributor, and because he's trying to find like some like smut to kind of run late night on the UHF channel that he's the CEO of. It cuts to a scene from the Japanese porn film where a young woman has kind of a traditional kind of Japanese kind of like folklore doll that she undresses, and it's revealed to be like a dildo. And then she starts masturbating with a dildo. And I swear, I absolutely swear, I heard bells, even for like a brief moment. If you go back,
think so. I think I heard them too.
Right.
All I kept thinking though, I'm like, that's wood. Hopefully, it's well polished.
And so it's showing this scene from like this Japanese kind of softcore scene, and it cuts to Wood and Max Rent, I believe is his name in the film.
I remember his name.
And like the two other kind of directors at the channel, they're watching it, bored out of their mind, and just kind of going, yeah, it needs something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Just I wrote down needed an octopus. But
Louder bells.
You're right. Louder bells.
More bells.
This thing starts crazy and nasty. It's just not to jump too far ahead to trivia, but the Japanese, like a porn distributor at the beginning of the movie, later ran for the chief financial minister of Ontario and the opposition actually used his casting in this movie as a porn distributor as like a negative mark against his character. I'm not making this up.
They're like, look at his shady past. We uncovered this. He used to have this website where he distributed softcore Asian porn.
Right. He just holds up a couple tiny bells and ding, 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 ding.
Man, $20 for just 2 bells. That's pretty pricey. Price gouging them.
Well, prime delivery at least. They got him the next day. So this was a wild.
This was a very wild film.
Yeah.
I mean, just that beginning scene, it starts out, I'm like, where is this going? I did no research about this one either before watching it. I'm like, I want to be surprised. And yeah, I was pretty surprised. I was actually convinced from the beginning. I'm like, is this a sci-fi flick or something? I'm not sure this is going to be a horror movie. And then as it went along, with all the special effects and all the crazy shit that they just like pull in this, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is like,
it's a fucking Cronenberg movie.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's like describing a Primus album. Like there's not even like there's no easy analogs that it's just like the type of the thing it is like the thing that it is.
Yeah. So again, they jump to a scene where James Woods invited on this talk show with these other panelists, and then they're asking him about the channel that he runs, and they're like, you put this smut on there, and it's just like porn,
programming is
violence,
lurid, violent. Do you think that this contributes generally to any kind of the state of moral decay?
Yeah. He's just like, no, I give people what they want.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fair. This is like pre-internet days, so he had to jump on everything at that time.
Right. So he is on the talk show with a radio hostess, played by Blondie frontman, just front woman and lead singer Debbie Harry, as a character called Nikki Brand. He takes one look at her, immediately gets horned up, asks her out on air.
Yeah. The ball's on this guy, James Woods, guys.
James Woods.
Early 80s James Woods.
83, Jess.
I'll give him this. He was pretty toned. He kept in shape. I mean, he had he just looks like he does. You're gonna get that with him, but I mean, he took care of himself, so he understood, his
right. I think kind of like 83 too. He's just like he's like I've got cocaine and torture porn back at the apartment.
I love how casually he invites Nikki back to his place. They're hanging out there on the sofa. He's just like smoking, and she puts on this video called Videodrome, which we learn about, which is it's supposed to be this feed that James Wood and one of the guys he works with at the studio.
One of the guys is basically using a satellite to try to pirate kind of a scrambled violent or pornographic programming from other countries. The film starts out, Woods comes into like this little kind of pirate den that this guy has. He's like, what do you got for me? He's like, well, I pulled this thing from Malaysia that's kind of crazy, but it's basically a shot of like of a red room where people are basically kind of it just kind of shows videos of people getting tortured to death.
It's insane. The back wall, he's like, is that electrified? And he's like, yeah, it's connected.
Right.
To like electric current. Yeah. And it's just like snuff films, essentially. They just torture people to the point where they ask and they record everything.
So what they ultimately figure out is kind of tracing the signal back. They think it was originating out of Southeast Asia, but it's actually kind of coming from Pittsburgh. Woods hooks up with Debbie Harry a couple times. Finds out that she has a very, very kind of strong, sort of twisted, kind of sadomasochistic streak.
I gotta say this. I never thought it would be sexy for a woman to have her ears pierced during foreplay.
Right. Debbie Harry, though, I mean, is so singular and basically just, yeah.
The performance.
It could have been footage of her reading the phone book,
It's super dry, but I mean, she's just like, and I'm like, what's he doing to her? Let me see it. And then he's just like sticking like some metal, like I
Right.
don't know.
He's got like a heavy gauge needle, and he's kind of sticking it like in her piercing.
He has that on him. That's such a weird choice.
Yeah.
It's like I have Videodrome.
1983 James Woods.
I have these assorted needles. Would you like to pierce parts of your body? Oh, baby, I'm so hot. Let's do it.
So that's like the very kind of rough version. Sort of what happens from there is that is Debbie Harry says she's like, actually, this looks awesome. I want to be on Videodrome. I'm going back to Pittsburgh. She's physically never seen again in the movie, but her image keeps appearing on television screens, sort of just kind of haunting Woods for like the remainder of the film.
Yeah.
What is basically sort of eventually sort of pieced together is kind of watching this video broadcast will actually induce brain tumors in like people that spend too much time looking at it. And over the course, it's not made completely clear over like the film what is a hallucination versus what is actually happening to Woods, but he keeps on having more and more hallucinations and kind of hallucinogenic experiences. Like reality around him just starts falling apart as he's trying to track down Debbie Harry and figure out what's going on with this Videodrome thing.
Yeah. What do you think about the practical effects whenever James Woods starts to have a hallucination and then he starts seeing Nikki on the TV?
Right.
And then the TV just starts, it's
like kind of pulsating, and it turns into like more like an egg sack.
Veins and stuff like that, like throbbing on like the outside of it. He keeps like rubbing it, like he's massaging it, like he's jerking it off or something. I really don't know. At one point, he's whipping it.
Right.
And you see Nikki on the screen just like moaning, and she's getting whipped.
Every time that she whips, that he whips like the TV, like the TV set that she's appearing.
Yeah. And it's weird because I don't know if you thought about it this way when you were watching it, but he's whipping the TV. She's moaning like she's getting whipped. And then it's revealed later on that she actually ended up being on Videodrome and they killed her.
Right. Right.
And then they were using her likeness to kind of like pull him in. But I was like, is this her likeness at this point? And who killed her? Was it the Videodrome torture people, or was this actually James Wood killing her?
It's
not even realizing
the footage. I mean, he is told that she was killed by Videodrome, and but you know, there's no footage of her body. There's footage of her kind of being strangled at one point, but you never actually see it. So even the reality of that can sort of be called into question. A new term can be introduced to the Cunny the Goose lexicon for purposes of reviewing this movie. This term is stussy.
Stussy.
Stomach pussy.
What's a stussy?
Right. A repeated, pretty amazing special effect, I think that they kind of go back to in this, is that Wood at some point ends up with a foot-long incision going down the middle of his belly that when it opens up looks quite a bit like a vagina, and he can basically have Betamax tapes pushed into his stussy that will cause him to commit like random acts of violence,
like rubbery moaning VHS tapes.
Right. Betamax.
Betamax tapes.
Right.
Yeah.
They actually in the trivia said, yeah, we couldn't do those effects with like full size VHS tapes. Like the Betamax tapes were just easier.
The big black tapes were just too much for that little Stussy.
Right. Special effects. I thought there's one practical effects scene in this that doesn't look great, but I thought the special effects in these things were really pretty terrific for like the most part, particularly considering 1983.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for 80s practical effects.
Right.
Anything where they avoid CGI, which I mean they didn't have it at the time, so they. Yeah. But what they're attempting to do, I mean, the Stussy, it's believable and it's disgusting. And the fact that he's able to reach into it with a gun, and then he pulls his hand back like he's fighting with it.
Some of these things you just kind of watching like, how the fuck did they do that?
He's not up against a wall or anything. So I'm like, how are they? And they film it from a couple different angles.
Right.
So it was pretty well thought out what they were attempting here. But then he, pulls his hand out and it's sealed back up, and you're like, where's the gun?
I wrote down this joke specifically for you.
Okay.
I've heard about a Tommy gun, but a tummy gun? Just as he sips water too. We almost got it.
That's a silly one.
Yeah. And what it like the the practical effects in this are really kind of quite remarkable. I think just draws a lot off of H.R. Geiger, obviously like a lot off of Alien, but just again
Sure.
very much kind of Cronenberg doing like his only his very kind of specific thing. What is this movie about, do you think?
I'm sure there's a bigger message here.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be that maybe, I mean, so they have the whole thing with Brian Oblivion talking about how it's like, what is it? Like a collective mind. Everybody watching TV is just kind of getting hooked into it, and you forget about what's going on around you. And then you're just so absorbed in the TV that it's just kind of like taking over your brain, and you're all part of like this entity that's beyond reality.
As a technological evolution. It's been called like a singularity more recently, but there is this kind of philosopher prophet figure called Professor Oblivion, who only appears in kind of like sort of pre-taped, in sort of kind of pre-taped sort of just kind of like conversations and interviews throughout the film. But there's a very kind of broad philosophical thing that they're kind of getting into is the television is sort of like the first step of man actually kind of merging in with technology.
Yeah, it's kind of let go of the flesh, and your consciousness leaves your body, and you're part of something that's virtual or beyond reality, I guess.
Right.
It's I think it's pretty ambitious for its time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think about 1983, who's sci-fi. I'm not sure how big sci-fi was back then. I think it was.
What Cronenberg turned down to direct this movie instead?
No.
Like this up Return of the Jedi.
What?
He was like, no.
What had he put out up until that point that they would give him that opportunity?
Well, like Scanners was a hit. You have to remember, Scanners was a really big hit.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. This movie, to me, talks. It's of a broader, I think, kind of intellectual and moral panic that was kind of being had in the 80s, and we sort of talked about this before with just the availability, just between people were just convinced violent movies and ready access to pornography and demonic references in lyrics and violent video games were going to be the end. We're going to be like the downfall of the society. And I think this is a film very much in conversation, which I think it's considerably more intelligent and ambitious and philosophical than like most of the just as most of the dialogue around like those just those things were at the time. But the movie made me it lost me a little bit, because I think it's now coming like 42 years later, it's saying a bunch of stuff that's by 2025 perspectives, I think just those are arguments that have kind of been settled. There's things about that feel a little bit weirdly dated to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think immediately when they mention like, hey, once you get exposed to Videodrome, you develop a tumor in your brain, and like, okay, that's just kind of like making it like a bigger thing.
It's a little on the nose, right?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's a little much, but I think people have always had that fears as society progresses and we get introduced to all these new things. Especially think about nowadays with AI.
Right.
Where it's like, customizable, porn and stuff like that. People are going to be like, nobody's going to leave home. Maybe at least the guys will never leave, but the women will move on.
They were saying that they were saying that, of course, with just how many iterations of these things previously, just porn rental is what kind of drove like the home video market, and they were having like those same conversations back then, like, oh, why would guys ever leave the home when they basically have like unlimited access to this stuff? It's
if I think about it, like to your point in video games, how violent video games, how they get worse and worse. Horror movies. You used to be able to show tons of violence, and then they kind of put in all these, the rating system, and you couldn't show certain types of things, and then it just got back to people want to see everything.
Right.
So they let it happen, but it's not like we're going on mass rampages killing people because of this.
It's like the moral panic around violent video games that we grew up with, and you look at it now, where basically it's the number one video game on the planet is basically a paintball simulator where you can dress up like Zeus or Scooby-Doo or whoever like the fuck else, and you all dance before like actually like having a match. There's been a ton of, you know, the technology now is so advanced, it's so remarkable, and they do make these kind of games from like time to time that have like the most kind of extreme sort of kind of just gruesome acts you can kind of possibly commit with that, but they're not the most popular things. The most popular things,
life goes on. We're still here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect, but we're not murdering each other at this point, and society's still functioning. Yep.
Yeah.
Have you got checked out recently to see if you have a tumor in your brain?
Well, watching this movie was like a little bit.
I felt after watching this,
not a good double feature with Bone Lake. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I didn't get a tumor from that. I just got a sad penis. Frumpy penis.
Right. Whatever the inverse of like the alpha male, the alpha's on.
Yeah. What's a reverse boner? Impalement, self-impalement.
Yeah, I just kind of shoved that back in the stussy. Were you entertained by this movie?
Yeah, I was entertained. I love the scene where James Wood, they keep giving him tapes to put inside his stussy, and then he becomes like an assassin, and he has to start killing people. The first time he went off,
Killing Spree is at an optometry trade show.
That was my god. Immediately, what I thought when I saw this happen, he took the tape, he put in his stussy. He had a gun, and he pulled the gun out of his stussy. Then it like grew these like, what are they? I don't know, wires or something. It became hardwired to his hand all of a sudden.
Well, you can be like, well, that's a, you know, it's his gun basically sort of sprouted these drills that kind of permanently like affixed like the gun to his hand, and you can be like, oh, that's a gross sci-fi
H.R. Geiger kind of
reading just reading a review of like this movie kind of points out, don't we more or less all have like our phones kind of nailed basically kind of nailed to our palms these days? Like, anyway,
it's true.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking at that point when he put the tape in there and he got really pissed off, I'm like, it reminded me of back in the day where they'd always have those signs that said, please be kind, rewind on VHS tapes when you rent them from like the local rental place. So I'm like, that's that guy that works at the rental place that you returned a tape that was not rewound. And he just goes into this like rage, and he's like, I gotta fucking find this person. I gotta murder this asshole.
It was $1.25 charge at some of these places.
Really? Wow. I only get empty threats. They were like, no free popcorn next time you come in. I'm like, fuck, I love the free popcorn.
At one point, they attached James Woods to what looks an awful lot like a Virtual Boy. That was kind of an interesting segment.
Yeah.
Anything else to kind of say about this one? I was entertained. I didn't think it was. I had more fun at the beginning when it's just kind of when it's kind of scummy James Woods sort of sashaying around and Debbie Harry just being just like the transcendent creature like that woman is. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, when start kind of getting into some like the mythology and like the church of this, that, and the other thing, like, you know, they're talking about all hail the new flesh, or, you know, they kind of like the church of the video feed,
like the end time thing where there's always some cult that pops up.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is it. This is the world's going to end, and get in on it now. And so I could understand maybe that was kind of like the recognition, like this is going to be the downfall of society, and so this cult right here by you know, Oblivion.
It's you know, they do versions of that with satanic cults. They do kind of versions of that, so the kind of like Lovecraftian kind of eldritch gods cult. You know, that kind of thing's been around for that. Yeah. So this one for me, easiest 35. I can never get. I think I could give.
Nice.
I was very entertained. I had just it's a movie that I had fun with, but I think as a whole is less than the sum of its parts.
Agreed. I gave it a 31.
A 31. Okay.
I liked be like seeing this little like world that was created and kind of that feeling of dread, but also kind of not knowing what the hell is going on most of the time and trying to figure it out along with James Woods.
Got it. Sweet. Okay, so just recap kind of what we're doing so far. Still in the lead in The Mouth of Madness. John Carpenter sort of last classic with an 88. After that, it looks that The Blackening is in second with 86 points, and then 28 years later, currently newly in third place with 84.
Sweet.
Bone Lake still in last place with 22 points.
Man, that movie got boned.
Yeah.